Hello and welcome to Built Like Blackjacks. I'm trying to wire this. There's like too much stuff hanging off the handlebars already, so I thought I'd run the wires through the bars. The bars turn out to be solid bar, so that's no good then, is it? So step one in wiring this is going to be making a set of Zed Bars. So if you want to come along for the ride, keep watching. Well, this is to find some tube which suspiciously looks like it's right about there on the rack. 22.7 mil. Yep. That's 7/8. I've measured this. It's about 10 inches, about 9 inches, and about 8 inches. Because obviously they were having a good day. The important thing for making a pair of Zed Bars is getting all the cuts with the right rotation. Because like I just said, you really want the top ones. Don't want to be coming out dead straight like that, because it'll make you want to hold your hands like this, which gets you a pain there. You want them coming down a bit, so they want to go down by 15 degrees. No, they want to go down by 5 degrees and they want to come back by 15. So if we assume we were making a pair of straight up and down Zed Bars, we'd do the bevels at the bottom at 45 and the ones at the top we want it to come down by 5. So we want an inside angle to be 85, so we cut it at 42.5. And we want a 15-degree rotation between the cut at the bottom and the cut at the top. And at the same time, we don't want any rotation between the two 45-degree or whatever cuts at the bottom, so that everything lines up when it's placed on a flat plane. So let's have a look at how we address that, shall we? Took a bit of 7/8 tube off the rack, and I've welded this piece of bar to the end of it. The object of that is I can stick this on there. And when it gets clamped to the saw, I can make sure that's level. Cut the first miter at the other end, take that off, turn it round, make sure it's level again, and then I can assure myself that my miters are in the same plane. Then when it comes to the rotations, I can get my 5 degrees or whatever, or 15 degrees that I want on there. So that is set at, well, it looks like 48.5 degrees, and 2 of those should make 97. So if I put that on here, put the edge on the, basically just assume slots parallel, and I can bring that round to something like right. So I'll lock pivot off now. That up and we should be right. Okay, so that's the setup. There's the saw with the jaw set at the angle, running off all the way there. It's a bit of prop to keep it up level, and the digital squiggly thing at the end. And now I've just kicked everything, I've thrown that out, and as you can see, or not, it thinks it's level some of the time. I'm calling that at worst that's 0.1 of a degree out, or at best it's level. So that's good enough for me, because 0.1 of a degree, that is good enough for me. So the next thing is cut one end off, make a start. Here we go then. There's one. So that's that. That's 3 and 4.5, 2.7, 1, 0.7, 9, 0.1. Right, so cut this piece, and the ends are square. So if I cut these two the same, then they should weld up on a flat plate, and they'll be parallel. Now the snag is, I really want to get a little bit down on that as well as the bit of back, so I don't just need the rotation on the cut, I need a different angle. So it's all getting a bit complicated. So what I have decided to do is that this is 10 inches, this is 9 inches, so I'm going to cut, 10 and 9 is 19, and 19 and 19 is 38. So I'm going to cut, I've got one bevel cut already, I'm going to cut the other one 38 inches away, and it doesn't really matter what rotation it's at, because the next thing I'm going to do is cut that in half. So that I've got two pieces 19 inches long, and I'm going to weld them onto the base. Then that will let me clamp that U in the saw, set the rotation off of this, and do me 15 degrees there, and work out the angle of the actual cut in my head, if you understand, if you see what I mean. Because I think I've got it, hopefully you have too. But there we go, let's get on with it. Bit of iron in your diet never hurt. So that's about there. Right, well the next thing to do is set that back to 90. Magical. Right, so with the saw set back to 90, it's do you know what it's time to do? If you said cut that piece of tube in half, you're wrong, it's time to go. I'll get on with this tomorrow. It won't be tomorrow for you obviously because you're watching a video, it'll be in a couple of seconds time. But for me it'll be tomorrow, so there you go. I've cut me a bit of 38 inch long the tube. I need to butt it up against something, mark the middle of it, cut it in half. Get a quick look around, see if I've got a knurling tool for the mini lathe. It's all a bit bunged in the corner, but by sticking that bit of tube on there, batting one of the pointy ends up against there, I can hold on. I can measure it up here to this pointy end, which is 38 1/4. So I've marked it there at 19 1/2, 19 1/8, obviously. Truth then about that. Been over there, had a rummage around, found this knurling tool, came back over here, mini lathe, thought put that down there, and oh look, there's something else there. What's that? It's a bloody knurling tool. So I could have saved myself a bit of trouble there, couldn't I? I don't know if you can see that from there, but there's a pen mark here. What I'm basically doing is lining this edge. This pen marks the centres, so I want the knurling either side of that, so I'm lining. I could be a bit more technical this time. Right, the stop is up against the tool post, so I'm going to move the carriage along so that this edge is lined up at the centre mark. I'm going to fire it up. Take a stab at what revs we need. Oh, there we go. Well, that was actually pretty successful. And I've already done the other end, obviously. So you can see that's pretty knurled. Right, so let's drill some holes in that for the wires to come out of, because this is the whole point of making these underbars, is to route the wires through them. Now it just needs cleaning up with a file now, so I shall get on with that. Different file. So this has got no teeth, and that has got teeth. So if you use that like that, it's going to chew this away. But if you use it like that with this, what's known as the safe edge on there, then it isn't going to make the gap any longer. It's just going to take them out of the way where you want to take them out of the way. Yeah, that's probably enough of that for now. Slotting the bottom of the bars. Wire's going to come down there, out there, and then do something else. Next thing to do is start worrying about lining it up. Yeah, that's a bit wet, isn't it? Yep. So the object of the exercise now is to cut them off. Weld this up, clamp that up, get the 15-degree rotation for the pullback by tipping this that way or that way, cut them off, come back, weld the ends on. And I'm going to drill them there for the cable, so the switch is here, cable comes out, goes in there, comes down here. I'm going to fiddle about with that till I'm happy with it, which is mostly going to involve, let's get that away from there. If it's 19 1/8 down there, and it's 19 1/8 down there, then from it's 22 1/4, and that's 22 1/8. That means this one wants to come that way a little bit. What does that do for us? Smash under. Two and an eighth. Two and an eighth. It might be a 30-second out, but at some point in your life you've got to come to a place called stop. Attacking these, they're obviously going to want to move, so the ideal thing is to attack them just there. So you attack them at halfway up on the outside. As it shrinks, it'll try and pull them out, so the weight is stopping it from moving, and it won't pull it like that. To get that one caught, catch it in there, and then you can fully weld it. That's the theory, anyway. So, just there. And just there. The next bit of amusement, we can measure it. Looks like 22 1/8. So does that. That's nice. Yeah. A bit carried away with that one. Ooh. logical thing to do there is to say, I want them going down by 5 degrees, and they're already leaning out by 7. So if I cut, can't work out which end this is now. If I cut them at 45, they end up there. If I cut them at 44, they end up at 5, but then 47's probably good enough. Yeah, okay, we'll do that. 7 will make me happy. We'll do that then. So this is a 45 degree cut. What I've done, I've levelled, zeroed the electric angle finder on the bed of the saw, and I've set 15 degrees down, got the end propped up, and now what I need to do is figure out where exactly to cut it. It's sort of in the right place. That's all sort of bloody moved as well. So this is a bit of a fiddle. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm sweating. I'm puffing and panting. So I think what I'll do is go home. The battery's nearly flat on this anyway. I can charge the battery up, come back, do this when I got a bit more breath about me, I'm not sweating, and get it finished. Okay, I forgot to film this. Basically, stick that in there, right? Measure from the jaw back to the jaw there back to the end to get the measurement. Turned out to be 10 inches because they're slightly over 10 inches. This is hanging off of here. You want like 15 degrees up, 15 degrees. So you put the digital readout thing on there, zero that, rotate it, and it won't be exactly right because you're not in exactly the same plane, and that whole thing's not completely level to start with, but it will be the same. And it will be close enough. So there you go. So that's what I missed. That's been cut off at 45 degrees. The joint is going to be like this. Well, just there, it's really thin. What it would be if you could focus on it. Just there, it's really, I'm going to let it be out of focus because the battery's running out. So that's just going to burn away and it's not really going to stick. So what we're going to do, we have to take that down, bevel this edge and let that stay like it is because that's a nice butt joint. So I'm just going to prep those and then I'll video the rest of it hopefully before the battery goes away. Come on, come on, come on, come on, you bugger. There we go. So no pointed bit on the end. You see a bevel around the sides, and when you put the two of them together, you've got somewhere to sit for the weld down the side. On the outside of the corner, it's not all thin and pointy, you're going to melt away and there'll be metal left after you grind the weld off. And on the inside, you just have to put a radius on the weld. So that, I've just got to prepare the actual bars themselves like that now. So that'll be the next job. Right, so that's that cleaned up the same way. I've got to do the inside yet, but before I do that, I'm going to want to drill a hole here that can go in there, down there, around there, and come out here. That's the theory anyway. And I'm going to have a little bracket there for hanging the indicators off. Level 0 on the plate, so it's 15 degrees up, which is what we want. Got a lump of aluminium in there to make that the 90, that gives me the down. And I need to weld it now without it moving, so I've got weight on top of it, I'm going to weld up the top, the weight should stop it from lifting. Fingers crossed. Let's go. Still says 15. Cool. Well done on the outside. That shouldn't be because it's got all that weight on it. Magic. Right, before we weld any more of that, I'm going to flip it around and set the other side up because then the weld won't be resting on the table, making life difficult for everybody else. So same deal in the middle at the top. Check. Come back here, still says 16 point. cool down. Drop one on the outside. That looks reasonable to me. So finish welding it. Grinding that. So that's touching the surface plate only just. That's touching the surface plate only just. These two corners on the surface plate, and it all sits there happily, it doesn't rock around. Now, as I've told, you got something like right. So there we have it. One set of Zed Bars. In the general scheme of things, it's probably not worth making your own because you can buy them quite cheaply. But then if you can't find exactly what you want, or you want to run wires to the inside and you don't know that all those corners are going to be internally deburred so you don't chop the crap out of all the wires, then yeah, it probably is worth it. I don't know, I'll leave that up to you. And on that note, I hope you found it educational, I hope you found it entertaining, I hope you liked and subscribed because that helps. And you take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.